line parallel to x-axis will not intersect x-axis. Angle between them is 0 and hence slope is also 0. The slope is given by m is equal to tan theta, and theta is the inclination of a straight line made by the angle along the positive direction of x-axis. The slope of a line parallel to the x-axis is 0. Why? Because the parallel lines never touches the x-axis and therefore there is no inclination, hence angle is 0. That's why slope is also 0. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. This is Shruti ma'am lecturing in Vidhyaashram, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So today we are discussing the last chapter of first PUC Basic Mathematics, that is the straight lines. So let us see the weightage of this chapter. So the chapter straight line is very important because you will get all type of questions under each sections in your question paper. That is, you will be getting one MCQ, one short answer for 2 mark, one long answer for 3 mark and one essay type question for 5 mark. Overall 11 marks of this chapter. Now here in this chapter and in this session we are going to first study about the slope or gradient of a line. So using and studying about the slope, we will study about the straight lines, also about its equation. First let us see what do you mean by the slope of a line. The slope m, so usually it is denoted by small m, is an inclination theta and it is defined to be the tangent of an angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis. So the slope is given by m is equal to tan theta, and theta is the inclination of a straight line made by the angle along the positive direction of x-axis. Now suppose this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. We have a straight line which makes an angle theta here. So if we know the inclination of the straight line which intersect the x-axis, that to positive direction of x-axis, then the slope of the equation is given by m is equal to tan theta. And similarly if we extend this, so if this cuts, if this is one more straight line, then this is an angle theta. So we can't take this as an angle theta because we should always take from the positive direction of x-axis. So therefore this will be an inclination theta. So that theta, if we know the value of the angle, then we can use the formula m is equal to tan theta to find the slope of a line. Now looking at this, here in the bracket they have given not perpendicular to x-axis. Why they have given not perpendicular to x-axis? Why non-perpendicular lines slope is defined? Because any line which is parallel to x-axis, if this is your x-axis, let me consider this as y-axis. So what is the angle between them? It is 90 degree. Let me take one more line. What is the angle between the line and the x-axis? It is again 90 degree. Since tan 90 degree is not defined, or we'll call it as an infinite value. Since it is not defined, we will define the slope of non-perpendicular line. That's why here theta is not perpendicular to x-axis. Whereas if we consider a line which is parallel to x-axis, now here consider this is your x-axis and y-axis. Now if I draw a straight line parallel to x-axis, so we can say parallel to x-axis or perpendicular to y-axis. What is the angle between these two? So we are talking about the theta which cuts the x-axis, but here it is not intersecting x-axis at all. That means angle between them is 0. So therefore in such cases the angle is 0, so tan 0 is 0, so therefore the slope of those lines are 0. So be careful, we will be talking about the slope of the line or gradient of the line only for the non-perpendicular lines, because any line perpendicular to x-axis will have a slope infinity which is not defined, and parallel lines always have a slope 0 because it never intersects x-axis. Now let us find the observation according to the formula m is equal to tan theta. Now the first point says the slope of the line perpendicular to x-axis is not defined. I have already told you because the angle between them is 90 and hence it is not defined. The slope of a line parallel to the x-axis is 0. Why? Because the parallel lines never touches the x-axis and therefore there is no inclination. Hence angle is 0. That's why slope is also 0. The next is, if slope of a line is positive, if the value of m value is positive, then it always lies between. Angle is always lies between 0 to 90 degree. That means it is an acute angle. Now, if the slope of a line is negative, then theta is from 90 to 180, which means theta is obtuse. Because we have already learnt in trigonometry using the ASTZ rule that it is the first quadrant and this is the second quadrant. First quadrant, all angle are positive, which means the angles are acute from 0 to 90 degree. Second quadrant, tan will become negative because 90 to 180, it is obtuse angle and the value of tan is always negative. And hence, if m is positive, the angle is acute. If m is negative, the angle is obtuse. Next, we talk about the slope of the parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Other than x and y axis, suppose consider two lines are parallel to each other. So, any line parallel to each other means obviously both are parallel to x-axis. Now, consider this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So, let me consider this line L1 and let me consider one more line L2. So, since L1 is parallel to x-axis, the slope M1 is 0 because any line parallel to x-axis will not intersect x-axis. Angle between them is 0 and hence slope is also 0. And again, L2 is parallel to x-axis here. So, obviously, L2 is parallel to x-axis means that its slope is 0. Now, clearly, we can say M1 and M2 are equal. What in case if we have a straight lines like this, two lines which are parallel to each other. So, if we extend this line, so angle between them will be same. That means where two parallel lines will intersect the x-axis with the same inclination and hence the slope between them will be equal. So, that means since theta 1 is equal to theta 2, if we apply tan on both sides, then tan theta 1 will be equal to tan theta 2. That's why slopes M1 will be equal to M2. Now, let us take the perpendicular lines here. Now, when we are talking about two perpendicular lines, so consider this is your x-axis and y-axis. So, let this be one line and then this be another line, but the angle between them is 90 degree. So, this is line L1, this is line L2. So, this is an inclination theta 1 and this is an inclination theta 2. So, if two lines are perpendicular to each other, then their product of their slope is -1. Obviously, their inclinations are different. That is theta 1 and theta 2. By looking at the diagram here only, we can observe this theta 1 is an obtuse angle, theta 2 is an acute angle. So now, observing this figure, we can clearly say the slopes are different. For theta 1, the slope is M1. For theta 2, the slope is M2. And if we multiply them, we'll get the value as -1. To show that two lines are perpendicular to each other, it is enough to show that their product is equal to -1. And hence, if you want to prove two lines are parallel, then show that their slopes are equal. Similarly, if you want to show that two lines are perpendicular, we can show that M1 into M2, that is the product of their slope is equal to -1. Or we can also say the slope of one line is the negative reciprocal of the other. That means if you want M1, then it is -1 by M2. Or if we want to M2, then it is -1 by M1. That is, its reciprocal also the negative reciprocal to each other, or simply we can say the product of their slope is equal to -1. So, similarly, we can also say the two statements in the converse form as if the lines are parallel, then their slopes are equal. If the lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slope is equal to -1. Now, here we have learnt the slope using the inclination. What if the points or the line segment points are given? Means this is a straight line. So, there will be given 2 points. So, no angle is given with respect to x-axis, only the points on the line is given. Then the slope formula can be is equal to the difference in the y coordinate with respect to difference in the x coordinate. That is, the slope of the line joining the points x1, y1 and x2, y2 is given by m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is same as tan theta. So, whatever value you will get for tan theta, the same value you will get when you use this formula. So, another formula to find the slope is m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, suppose consider 3 points lie on the line. So if let that be A, P, B. Now by studying the slope of the line, we can also show that the 3 points are collinear, that is A, P, B are collinear. How? Since AP lie on the same straight line on PB or AB, their slopes must be equal. So it is almost equivalent to the collinear point, which is a parallel. So therefore we can show that their slopes are equal and hence they are collinear. So thus, if 3 points A, B, C are collinear, then the slope of AB is equal to slope of BC and conversely. So conversely means if slope of AB is equal to slope of BC, then we can say A, B, C are collinear. Hence to show that 3 points are collinear, show that the slopes between them are equal. So next we come across the standard equations of a straight line. Equation of the x-axis is always considered as y is equal to 0. So consider this is x-axis and this is y-axis. On the x-axis, points of y are 0 or the coordinate value of y is 0, and hence for an equation of x-axis, we always consider y is equal to 0. Now, suppose if we take any line which is parallel to x-axis. So let me take this line as a straight L1 which is at a distance A from the x-axis. For example, 1 unit from the x-axis. So let me consider M. Any line parallel to y-axis is always written with an equation y with its distance. Y is equal to 1. Now since it is on the positive direction of x-axis, here y is equal to minus 1. If suppose I take an equation here which is L2, which is at a distance 1, but here the point is minus 1, then the equation of this line is y is equal to minus 1. So depending upon whether it is above the x-axis or below the x-axis. And hence, if a line is parallel to x-axis at a distance unit A from the x-axis, then the equation of the line will be y is equal to A if it lies above the x-axis and y is equal to minus A if it lies below the x-axis. A is the distance of the straight line from the x-axis. Similarly, if this is your y-axis and x-axis, since on y-axis the coordinate of a point x is 0, the equation of this line is always x is equal to 0. Any line which is parallel to y-axis, either this side or this side, is also represented with x only, but towards right it is always positive values and towards left it is always negative value, because here the coordinates are negative whereas here the coordinates are positive, and hence equation of y-axis is x is equal to 0. If a line is parallel to y-axis at a distance b units from y-axis, then the equation of the line will be x is equal to b if it lies right towards the y-axis and x is equal to minus b if it lies left towards the y-axis. So equation of a line can also be found using certain condition. So we have such kind of equation. The first one is equation of a line in slope point form. It can also be called as point slope form. So that means one slope or one point towards which this line is passing is given. We need to find the equation of a line. So we have a standard formulas to find the equation of the line using this condition. So if the slope of the line is given by m and that line is passing through the point x1, y1, then the equation of a line can be found using the formula y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Here m is the slope of the given line and x1, y1 is the point from which the line is passing through. Now suppose if the line passes through the origin, then x1, y1 will be equal to 0. Then the equation of the line is just y is equal to mx. So if you put 0 and 0 here, we'll get y here, we'll get mx here. So thus equation of a line passing through origin having slope m is y is equal to mx. Next is 2-point form. So that means 2 points are given from which the line is passing. So this line is passing through 2 points. One point is x1, y1 and another point is x2, y2. Then the equation of this line is given by y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. It is same as y minus y1 is equal to, see, this is clearly your slope. So this is the slope of a line when 2 points are given. So this is m, and if you cross multiply, this is x minus x1. This is same as your point slope form. This is your slope of the line, and this is the coordinates of a point from which the line is passing through. So therefore, this can be given in the form of y minus y1 by x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. The next one is the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. What do you mean by intercept? If this is your x-axis and y-axis, consider straight line passing through or intersecting the y-axis. If a line cuts the y-axis, then this is called as intercept. Similarly, we can also consider a straight line which also cuts both the lines. So here these are called as intercepts. This is also called as intercept. So the point at which it cuts the x-axis is x-intercept. So this is your x-intercept. The point at which line cuts the y-axis is called as y-intercept. That means a line which cuts the coordinates axis are called as intercept. Now here they have given the slope of the line and y-intercept. That means they have given this point. So that means the line is touching or intersecting the y-axis at some point. So a point is given and the slope is given. In that case, what is the equation of the line? So it's a simple equation and it is denoted by y is equal to mx plus c. Here c indicates the value or the point at which the line cuts the y-axis. Now suppose if this point touches the y-axis at origin. So this is your x and y axis. If this is a straight line which touches the y-axis at point 0, then obviously your c value is 0. So therefore the equation is reduced to y is equal to mx. So generally any line passing through the origin will have the equation y is equal to mx. So thus the slope intercept form of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. So other than this, we also have intercept form. So that means you can see this diagram. So this straight line is cutting both x-axis and y-axis here. So intercept of y-axis can be taken as b, intercept of x-axis can be taken as a. So that is also one of the equation of a straight line when x-intercept and y-intercept are given. So in such case, intercept form is given by x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. So this equation represents the general equation of the straight line when x-intercept and y-intercepts are given. So now we have learnt the different forms of a slope of a line and different types of forming equation of a line. So let us take few problems. Show that the point A 6, 8, B 1, 3, C 4, 2 forms a right angle triangle. So we know that in any right angle triangle, so we have a perpendicular lines. So if we show that, or if we find the slope of all these three lines, and if we show that the product of slope of any of these two lines are equal to -1, then we can say that it forms a right angle triangle. Now let us find slope of AB. Now here to find the slope of AB, angle is not given. So points are given. So let us take the difference of y coordinates with respect to x coordinate. So AB we are talking. So 3 minus 8 divided by 1 minus 6, which is -5 by -5 is equal to 1. Next we have slope of BC. These two. 2 minus 3 divided by 4 minus 1. So which is equal to -1 by 3. Now let me take slope of AC. A and C. So 2 minus 8 whole divided by 4 minus 6. So which is equal to -6 divided by -2. So we will get 3. So now let me consider this as M1, M2, M3. So if we multiply M1 and M2, will not get -1 as a product. Let's multiply M2 and M3. So clearly M2 into M3. So which is -1/3 into 3. We are getting the product is equal to -1. So what does it indicate? BC is perpendicular to AC. So if we have two lines which is forming a right angle, then obviously these 3 points forms a vertices of right angle triangle. Next question. Show that the line joining 2, -3 and -5, 1 is parallel to the line joining 7, -1 and 0, 3, perpendicular to the line joining 4, 5 and 0, -2. So let us find the slope of all these 3 lines. So we know that to show that 2 lines are parallel, show that their slopes are equal. To show that the 2 lines are perpendicular, the product of their slope should be equal to -1. So let us see whether it satisfies the condition. Now let us calculate the slope M1 of the line L1 joining these 2 points. So obviously it is 1 minus of -3, 1 plus 3 and -5 minus 2, which is equal to -4/7. Next we'll calculate A. So let me consider this as M2. So find the slope. 3 minus of -1 is plus. Next 0 minus 7, which is equal to -4/7. So obviously here M1 is equal to M2. So therefore the lines are parallel. Next we'll check the slope M3. -2 -5 divided by 0 -4 -7 by -4, which is equal to 7/4. Now multiply M1 into M3. M1 is -4/7. M2 is 7/4. So cancelling this, we are getting -1. M1 into M3 is -1. So therefore the lines are perpendicular. Hence proved. So the next question is, find the equation of the line passing through the point 3, 5 and making an inclination 45 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. The inclination theta is given, that is 45 degree. So when any inclination is given, we can find m, which is the slope, tan theta. So tan 45 is equal to 1. And the point x1, y1 is given, that is 3, 5. So hence using point slope form, the equation of the line is given by y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So y minus 5, 1 into x minus 3. Y minus 5 is equal to x minus 3. So let us shift here, x minus y plus 5 minus 3 is plus 2 is equal to 0. So this is the required equation of the straight line. Next one, find the equation of the line passing through 1, 2 and parallel to the line joining 3, 1 and 4, 5. So let me consider the required line is this. So this is passing through the point 1, 2 and it is parallel to the line which is passing through the points 3, 1 and 4, -5. So here we know that if two lines are parallel to each other, then their slopes are obviously equal. And if we get the slope of this line, it is same as for the required line. So first let us find the slope of this line. So slope of line passing through (3, 1) and 4, -5. So let me consider it as m. So it is difference in y coordinates with respect to difference in x coordinate. -5 minus 1 divided by 4 minus 3 minus 6/1 minus 6. Now since the lines are parallel here, so this implies slopes are equal. So therefore, the slope of this line is also m is equal to minus 6. Now, the slope of the required line is found and the point at which the given line is passing is also given. So using point slope form, slope point form or point slope form, the required equation of the line will be y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So point is given 1, 2. So y1 is 2, x1 is 1 and slope is minus 6, x minus 1. So we will get here y minus 2 is equal to minus 6x plus 6. Shift this side, 6x plus y plus 6 when it comes here minus 6 minus 8 is equal to 0. So this is the required equation of the line. Next question, write down the equation of the line which passes through 0, 5 by 7 and has x-intercept minus 5 by 4. So we have a line 0, 5 by 7 means it is somewhere along the y-axis. So this will be the point 0, 5 by 7 and it is touching the x-axis at minus 5 by 4. So somewhere here minus 5 by 4 means somewhere on the negative direction of the x-axis. So this is the straight line. Obviously this will become y-intercept and this point is minus 5 by 4, 0 where x-intercept is given. So here given A is equal to minus 5 by 4 and B is equal to 5 by 7. So using intercept form of an equation, what is the intercept form? I told you it can be written as x by A plus y by B is equal to 1. So substitute the values, x by minus 5 by 4 plus y by 5 by 7 is equal to 1. So taking the reciprocal, we will get this as minus 4x by 5 plus 7y by 5 is equal to 1. Multiply 5 on both sides, we will get minus 4x plus 7y is equal to 5. Or we can rewrite this as 4x minus 7y plus 5 is equal to 0. So this is the required equation of the straight line. The next question, find the equation of the line whose x and y intercepts are equal and passes through 2, minus 3. So given that x and y intercepts are equal, so let us take the intercept form of the equation. What is it? X by A plus y by B is equal to 1. So given A is equal to B. So from this we can write this as x by A plus y by A is equal to 1, or we can write this as x plus y is equal to A. Just multiplying A on both sides. So consider this as equation 1. Also they have given this line is passing through 2, minus 3. If a line is passing through this point, then this point should satisfy the solution. So where x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 3, we have A. So 2 minus 3 is equal to A. So we get A is equal to minus 1. So let us substitute the value of A here. Then we have x plus y is equal to minus 1 or x plus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is the required equation of a straight line. Here the slope is not given or any other condition is not given, but they have clearly said their intercepts are same. So using the intercept form of an equation, we can find the value of A and substitute it later to get the equation of a straight line. So thus in this session, we have discussed how to find out the slopes of a given line, also the slopes of parallel and perpendicular line. So we have found the equation of a straight line under different conditions. I'll meet you in the next session. Until then, keep watching, keep learning and keep exploring. Thank you.